Hello, I'm Carol Ream, founder and CEO of I Like Group, and today I'm thrilled to be sharing with you an overview of our upcoming study called the Multicultural Multiplier: Cultural Diversity's Impact on Travel Intent. This is a study that has been months in the making, and I first want to take a moment to thank our founding sponsors because without them, the study wouldn't be happening. So, thank you to Destinations International, Brand USA, and Miles Partnership for your support of this study. So, what's it all about? When we think about the task of marketing a destination, it really is so much more than just the product and just the attractions and the assets. Because even the most obviously appealing places are difficult to differentiate. When we think about what makes a place magical, it's really about the culture. It's about the stories and the people and the locals. That's what really makes a place amazing. That's what our experiences and memories and so much of what we love about travel. It's about this ethereal thing we call culture. And when we think about the United States in particular, diversity is really our hallmark, and it is in fact a differentiator. When we look at the global research that I've done in the past, we really see that this is one of the qualities that the world admires about the United States. And it's such a powerful differentiator, and it really defines so much of the traveler's experiences that they can come to the United States and get this amazing kaleidoscope of experiences. So it's really a powerful source of differentiation. And when we think about the potential of multicultural marketing, we really are able to support two overarching missions I think we all have. One is to enrich the traveler experience. We're exposing them to things that they're going to love, that will really give them great memories, that will give them a taste of our amazing destinations. And the other side is the economic development side. So, how can we support the success of small, often minority owned businesses? This just is a combination that sings. It's such an important opportunity. And I think so many organizations are paying much closer attention to this now. So, we're super excited to be launching this project to support both of these efforts. So, how do we make it happen? First, we're going to start with what role does culture play in destination decisions? First, we want to understand, especially because of COVID and the initial trips that people will take coming out of the pandemic, the motivations are going to be special. They're going to be a little bit different. So I think it's important that we start with a baseline of understanding this role of culture, because especially coming out of the pandemic, there are some trips that we're going to take that are really about our internal priorities. We are so tired of staring at the same four walls. And that motivation is going to be a little bit different than trips that we take because we're finally going to see a place that we've been wanting to visit for a really long time. And it's about that place, the culture of that place becomes sort of front and center. It's a primary decision factor. And it's not that culture isn't important for the other types of trips that are more internally focused, but when it factors in, changes a bit. It's a little bit later in the process. And so I think it's important that we sort of look at these types of trips a little bit differently, because I think as marketers, we need to plan for them a little bit differently. The strategy and the tactics need to adjust accordingly. So the next piece, how we want to understand how showcasing cultural diversity actually impacts behavior. So there are a number of things certainly that it can and will impact, from things like length of stay to just the overall destination appeal. There's so many factors involved. So we really want to understand the landscape of all the different ways diversity can impact perceptions and behaviors and decisions. Then we want to take a look at the traveler's themselves. So who is most interested in multicultural experiences and what can we learn about them? And really kind of taking the opportunity to separate those that might already be interested in a particular destination and those who aren't. So from a client perspective, who are you capturing today, and who is in the segment that you're not yet capturing, and what can we learn about them so that we can focus on sort of broadening the audience. And then from a tactical perspective, how can we really effectively navigate the complexity of the media landscape? And this is where, other demographics come into play, how you approach a boomer versus a millennial or even Gen Z at this point. So we'll take some tactical, practical points of view in some of this research to really help drive actionable recommendations. So summarizing the study objectives, first and foremost, we want to quantify the impact that cultural diversity has on travel intent and understand more specifically what perceptions or behaviors are impacted and by how much. We aim to uncover insights that will really help marketers understand who, what, when, where, and why, so they can come up with really effective tactics to support the strategy. And as part of that, we want to help our clients understand where their destinations are with these travelers and what they can learn to target those who fall into the segment but aren't yet there in terms of interest for a particular destination, and learn everything that we can about these culture-seeking travelers and discover opportunities to help all marketers better appeal to those travelers. From a benefits perspective, ultimately our clients are going to walk away with data-driven recommendations on how to translate a general desire to support diversity and small businesses in their communities into effective marketing execution. This is core to what destination marketing is all about. And we'll be providing an in-depth look at these culture-seeking travelers to understand everything we can learn about them, demographics, behaviors, media habits, to really support data-driven decisions. And certainly connected to that, we will be sharing implications for creative and media planning. And then just in general, I think there is a great sort of feeling that you can get supporting a project like this, because it's really demonstrating leadership and support of an overarching effort to incorporate diversity in marketing. So from a methodological standpoint, this will be an online consumer survey of adult leisure travelers who plan their trips. We're looking at 2,000 respondents in the United States, and then 1,000 each in Canada, Mexico, UK, and China. And this is sort of anchored towards the United States as a destination, but we'll certainly also be looking at domestic, sort of just broader travel intent within all of those different markets. In terms of questionnaire topics, we're going to spend a lot of energy really digging into the planning process and the deciding factors, both for the destination itself and then a layer deeper into what they do within the destination, because I think there are two really important pieces. They often happen at different times, and the factors involved are quite different. So that's kind of the core, the really key piece of what this study is all about. And then we'll look at doing some testing around different itineraries and itinerary options, as well as creative, to glean and really fine tune the recommendations to be more specific and, again, be actionable at the end of the study. From a time frame perspective, we're planning to go to the field early 2022 at this point, and the results should be ready in the April-May timeframe, so the late spring timeframe. If you're interested in learning more about becoming a client of a study, please reach out to us. Brian is ready and excited to take your emails and ready to respond to your questions. And that is a wrap. Thank you so much for watching.